Well, our special now on the show this evening, Delhi Crime, an Indian net series on Netflix, has won an international Emmy. Let's just take a look at some of the excerpts of this hugely popular series based on the tragic Nirbhaya incident of 2012.
It's insanity. बस पर 6 लोगों ने पर हमला किया.
You're saying that if you'd done your job, none of this would have happened in the first place.
There is nothing we could have done.
So everyone in the city is wrong.
Promise कीजिए मुझे उन सबको सिर्फ फांसी ही होगी.
I promise. Don't want to ever see a woman in this situation again. Ever.
Well, this is the first time an Indian web series has won an international Emmy. So let's look at this reaction which is going viral of actor Shefali Shah.
Delhi Crime. Oh my God! Thank you. Thank you to my producers, Florence Sloan, Apurva Bakshi, Pooja Kohli, John Pennati, Gillian Kerwin, Jeff Sagansky, Aaron Taplin, Mike Hogan, Sanjay Bachani, Harry Sloan, David Stern, my team, David Gersh, Alessandro Lucchesi, Craig Emanuel, Matthew Bates, Lawrence Boland, Toby Bruce, David Levine, the Sundance Film Festival, Bella Bajaria, Monica Shergill, all the folks at Netflix who took a huge risk on this.
So there's Shefali Shah with that OMG going viral. Shefali Shah joining me this evening. Well, congratulations. So I saw that excitement, but relive it for us.
Oh my God. Sonia, first I can't see you, which is really tragic. I mean,
I agree. Luckily, I can see you.
Yeah, wow. Okay. Oh, I think I kept doing, oh my God, and screaming all through the night. I just think I kept doing that. And I think I've gone hoarse just screaming, but inside it's exactly the same reaction. It's like, oh my God, this is crazy.
I don't blame you because it's really a fantastic achievement. I mean, it's something which, you know, every time you see solid content, something which is actually, it wasn't fictional. Tell me for you that why this is special. Of course, the International Emmy, it's the first one Indian series, but what makes this so special?
One is, you know, when I was offered the part and when I heard about this side of the story, it kind of became a cathartic experience because we were talking about somebody's, we were talking about an incident which affected all of us extremely deeply. And then playing Vartika, it gave me a certain sense of, wouldn't say power, but a sense of doing something for it, rather than just sitting outside and blaming people. It was actually that somebody went out there and corrected it. It's something that can never be corrected, but at least the criminals were caught and there was some justice that prevailed.
Absolutely.
So what happened?
Absolutely. And I remember when I watched the series, Shefali, and I really enjoyed it, but it brought back so many memories because, of course, we covered this live. You must have watched on television. We covered it as journalists 8 years ago. And the biggest tragedy is that it keeps happening again and again. You know, we thought that would really be a turning point. But 8 years later, we see so many other shameful cases of Nirbhayas being killed every day. As an actor, did that also play into your role in some sense? Or did you feel that, you know, you're almost getting justice every day, or that's the message that needs to go out?
No, when you hear about a case, I mean, this is a show we did, but there is no sense of justice until this stops.
Absolutely.
There really isn't. And every time it happens, it's as painful and as traumatic, and it just gets you angry and furious. And all you can wish for and pray is that it's like people need to stop. I don't even know. It's like the entire social system has to change. There has to be education. There has to be a way you raise your sons, you know, which I've always maintained that your daughters will be safe. If our daughters will be safe, our sons are raised right. So there is so much of it. And just doing a show does not make you empowered enough to feel, okay, at least I'm some part of the justice. I played a part. I mean, and when I did Delhi Crime, it did feel, okay, there was somebody, you know, like just as a layperson, like all of us, when the incident happened, we sat outside and we were angry and frustrated and upset and hurt and we all kept thinking no one's doing anything about it. But when I heard this side of the story, I realized there was somebody doing something about it, and it was a woman. So it's a strange sense of balance, that, you know, there was a woman to bring those guys up and fight for the justice, and she could, whatever little justice. I mean, what happened, what the kind of damage that happened can never ever be replaced or recovered or repaired.
No,
but at least there was somebody who went out there and got those guys and got them in 5 days plan.
Absolutely. And I think just, I know, doing your duty in that case and in every other case, I think really that's so crucial. And I think it's fascinating that a story set in Delhi, a story which moves so many people around India, has now also touched so many people around the world at the Emmys. So that, in a sense, is something which also is, I mean, I think nice. It's something which makes you feel also that this is a series which worked, its message worked.
Well, you know, in fact, see, there are two things. One is that the case touched every person who had their heart in the right place across the globe. It wasn't just India, it wasn't just women. It was men, it was people from across the globe who felt deeply about it. As far as the show is concerned, so there are these two separate things. So it did touch anyone who has a human heart. As far as it winning the Emmys is concerned, well, that is a completely different part of it. I mean, we cannot undermine, or I just think it's not a great comparison in terms of the reach of it, because one, we're talking about a show, and one, we're talking about a real event, and a real event is always more powerful, and what happened is far more powerful, and it really hit everyone. So I don't think there is a comparison, but yes, it's insanity. The event, the incident touched everyone deeply, scarred everyone deeply, and the show has touched everyone deeply.
So I'll take that. I'll separate the point of the actual incident from the show winning at the Emmys, and I think that bit is fantastic, just also because it's showing Indian web series, OTT platforms, Indian web series coming of age internationally, because I think that's also something which is really important.
Yes, it is. And I mean, there is a lot of awareness now for not just Indian shows, but films. There has been an awareness for films made in India. I mean, let's talk about Monsoon Wedding, for example. Or Gandhi, My Father, for example. I mean, these are the films that I've done, but there have been so many films. And there is an interest in the kind of work, the kind of art that comes out of India. And it has global recognition. Yes, this one really puts us out on the global map and says, I mean, this is not something you can ignore. Let's put it that way.
But of course, interestingly, I mean, they said OTT is really like, you know, pushing the envelope. You're going to have completely different content. It's not about all the rules. But guess what? OTT is going to be censored now as well. What do you feel as an actor who's been doing web series on these platforms?
Well, that is, you know, censorship comes or should come from within you. It's an internal thought process. And of course, as far as you're not offending anyone, as far as you're not hurting anyone, but at the same time telling the truth, I guess there has to be a balance of that. Because if you completely take away the right of a creative, you take away all creative freedom, then probably all the kind of truth that needs to be told may not be out there. And at the same time, there has to be a sense of responsibility for makers, for actors, to understand that you can't just use something for titillating the audience or getting a good viewership. So it's supposed to be, it has to go hand in hand. It can't be done individually. And it has to come consciously as as an aware thought, as an aware action. So it's not just about somebody setting rules and somebody following them or somebody breaking them. It doesn't work like that.
True, but sometimes it's a slippery slope, of course, Shefali, because, I mean, you just had FIR filed against Suitable Boy for kisses at a temple. So it's a slippery slope. In India, there's always someone who's going to be offended.
Well, they're talking about the censorship, and we're going to have to see how this entire thing plays out. Look, honestly, like, sometimes I see something and I feel, well, this wasn't required. But then that's my point of view. And everyone's going to have a different point of view on that. But what is the kind of social statement, or what is the kind of social responsibility you hold?
Right.
As a platform, and as an actor, as a filmmaker, as somebody who writes scripts. So it has to be a conjoined effort. It can't just be one person's decision and then see what happens. It doesn't work like that, because it's not as simple as saying ye mat dikhao aur wo mat dikhao. It's not as simple as that. And I understand that, yes, as an artist, we need our freedom of expression. But I also understand that as a responsible person, we owe it to the audience. We owe it to ourselves. I'm a parent. I'm not sure my kids are grown up. They're 17 and 18. They're adults. But I would be wary of a certain kind of content my kids saw.
Right.
So, so it's a double-edged sword, isn't it?
Yes.
And as an actor, I feel, as a creator, as a part of the industry, as somebody who is an artist, feels we have to be allowed to tell the truth, show the truth. And yet, as somebody on the other side, I can also feel and understand that, look, there is a sense of responsibility that any kind of freedom comes with a great sense of responsibility.
Absolutely.
I mean, this is not rocket science.
No, and I think
that is something we just really need to follow.
And of course, in the large question of who decides, in a sense. But let's just ask finally, because there have been so many amazing reactions coming in after the win. You've got Hrithik Roshan, Vidya Balan, etc., all tweeting about it. What's the reaction, or whose is the reaction that meant the most to you today?
Well, everyone. I mean, I'm overwhelmed. I'm completely overwhelmed. But it's just, I think, whose reaction meant the most to me? Rishi Mehta's. My directors.
Absolutely. So I hope, we're all in this virtual world, but I hope the cast and crew can get together to celebrate this. But it is really...
I really want it. But, and I'm just, that's the thing that I miss the most. Of course, couldn't be at the Emmys. But what I missed really a lot was the fact that we all couldn't be together. And we still can't be together because we are all spread across continents. And of course, the given situation.
No, but it is a great win. And thanks so much, Shefali, for being on the show. And congratulations. You were great as Vartika Chaturvedi. Thanks for being on the show.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Bye.
Bye.